Ahoy, DeFi pirates,
What's happening?
Mexicans, crypto enthusiasts, and my right-hand man, Phamous. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing awesome, RG. How's it going?
Dude,
how's it
fired
feeling
up.
today? How are we feeling today? I don't know.
Feeling fired up, bro. I mean,
Let's go.
it's getting close-ish.
Yeah.
And it's every day it's an inch closer, an inch closer, an inch closer. We're knocking on the door right now. We're knocking 100%. On the door. Now, it could happen if it was going to happen today, I think it would have UTC timed already, 15, 20 minutes ago or something like that. So I think that it would have happened already today if it was going to happen today. So we may be out of the window. So tomorrow, my thought is next week sometime, Wednesday, Thursday-ish. What are you thinking?
After that tweet, I don't know, but I had a lot of like the Richard tweet.
Are you talking about
I had
how you guys doing tweet or?
Yeah. But I was thinking 33 days.
33 days from that.
Yeah, because
you're bearish. You're bearish.
I'm not bearish at all. I'm actually going with what it's like with my rabbit hole theories and going and verifying the code. GitLab had some changes that they did, and they've been doing changes in the last 48 hours constantly. So one of the big changes was obviously the change of the V3 block height, and then they put this new block height at April 12th, which was Shanghai. And that to me was like, oh shit, okay, that could be something. And then
when they loaded the sacrifice, set. I mean, that was like a hint and a half for everybody's ass. Okay, here it comes. Because every time that's happened, then the new test net was launched. So technically, I think that's why everybody got all into this 48 hours thing. But I think that the system state still had to be reloaded again. So my guess is another, 6 to 10 days, maybe next Thursday.
Honestly, the last two times something came out was during our show. So that's
I know it did. Our show the last time it came.
I was like, the third time, could this actually happen? This is like a three-peat, but maybe it is. Maybe it did. We wouldn't know, right? If it did already start, it would be happening, right? And we wouldn't know until we would get the call. So that's how I expect it to come out. Now, my logical sense of looking at it was more like looking at that block height that they put in the code, and then look at the block height that it is right now on testnet, and then look at the approximation of the blocks, and then look at the time, and then be like, okay, that's about. There was like at the time.
So are you monitoring that right now? Are you monitoring?
I'm monitoring it, but it was just it's like a guess, right? It's kind of like 555 at 5555. It's just my rabbit hole guess where it's like I want more than just opinion. I want like a bit of facts on the line, and it's still code that's put in the GitLab. So for me, it's a bit more than just opinion, and I don't know, when we look at like stuff like this, we've last time we were on the stream, we figured out the the block height, the actual time, which was January 26th, and in the code it says they removed it and they replaced it with the Shanghai, and then there's a message from the devs which says thank you for your I don't know if Bullish, you could pull up the tweet that I posted. It shows the snippet of the
let's see what the devs were saying. Let me see it.
Yeah,
I'll give you my opinion.
Yeah, you look at the code. A
they,
lot of people have been talking about it.
Code, is what you're saying?
No one really looked at me and said, "Nah, man, that's not that. That's this." And no one said, "Yo, maybe it is." But you know what? This is some really good FUD. So, or bullishness, whatever people want to see about it. But I was speaking to Buck too, and he said that his dev one said maybe 30 days too. So I don't know. So yeah, that's the tweet. So if we look at it, the red is what they removed, right? So they removed line 29 and 30, and they added 29 to 32. And it says last ETH mainnet block before 4 testnet v3 ending block number, and you look at that block number and you put it in etherscan.io. So just that number, you copy paste it. It would bring you to the block, which is the January 22nd, which was the block of the fork, which we confirmed. And then they replaced that with Shanghai update block height, and then they give the Ethereum history, enabling withdrawals, a message from the PulseChain devs. Thank you for securing Ethereum and delaying your gratification. Ending block number, and they give the block number. So I don't know if this is just for the staking, but yeah. this to me is
So,
cool.
I just was on Spaces, and I just like spit out a rant to everybody about this bullshit right here. Like, this is all great for the Geek Squad, you know, for you and for the rest of the folks that read all this shit.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, this isn't going to mean jack shit to normal people.
100%.
This stuff doesn't mean anything. And we've got to
110%.
change the narrative. We've got to stop showing people this. We got to stop showing them GitLab. We've got to stop sending them to Etherscan. We've got to change how people see this, because this is intimidating. This is scary. This is not what people's lives, what people want their lives to look like. Them having to understand this crap right here.
Making Remy get this?
So no, and they don't. He just asked me if my buddy, who, if you guys don't know, aped into Hex at the top of the market, his whole family's life savings, and he's been sitting at a 90% dip ever since. He asked me if they get an understanding. And of course they don't. They're normal folks. Mikey trusted me, believed in me, and he got into Hex because I told him it was the way to go. And I know it's the way to go. Unfortunately, he's got to bear through a bear market, a big bear market. And, to the crypto enthusiast, the 3% of us that are all in crypto, this shit makes sense. This shit floats our boat. This shit gets our rocks off, because we know that something's coming, because we know that it means things to us. But to the average person, that means nothing, and it's scary. And how are we going to start promoting? Because when PulseChain launches, guess what? The party's over? No, we have to go promote this.
Yeah, I think we have the best promotion. I think we have the best promotion. Right now, we're in that situation where it's just like, oh, I promise. Promise, trust me. Just trust me right now. I feel like it's more like that because people are not convinced with the Hex yet. They will be. But I feel like once it's out, the best thing is you have it. Oh, you have this? Oh, well, you have it already. It's done. You go get it. Like, it's more like tangible. It's more like when you say someone, oh, here's a coupon for the next time you get your meal, instead of, oh, your meal's free right now. There's two different types of, like, in my opinion, how I see it. So, I think we're going to be better when the fork, guys. When the fork comes, it's going to be the easiest way to onboard people. It's here. Your copies are here. Check it out faster. The product has arrived, So I think it's going to be much better and much easier. So to your, concerns, we have to stop showing the Etherscan I think you're right to an extent, but also that's not my job. I'm not putting a lot of people don't put their time in, and there's a lot of people in the community that need it. And you know what? This is an expertise. So to an extent, we have to make them level up a bit, or else they kind of don't deserve it, right? It's like, imagine someone who's never worked a day in their life and just getting everything given to them. It's basically what crypto is. But to those who want to work and get more, well, obviously do the work. And I think it's important to show this instead of, all this kumbaya stuff where it's like, not intelligent. Like, at least if we're wrong, it was something where people could learn, be like, oh, where did they get that? Oh, on the GitLab. Oh, okay. Because like I try to show people, it's like, even if we're wrong, you still went to Etherscan, you still learned, you still went on the test net, you still practiced bridging, you still were Kobe doing the 50 shots in the gym.
So here's what I think about that, and here's what I see with that. So here we are, the invention of the car is coming out. Everybody's been anticipating it. They've been riding their buggies and their horses and all this stuff, and they've been waiting for this car, and this car is coming out. And all along, there's the car guys that are watching them build this car. And these car guys are showing everybody that's waiting in line to buy one of these things that this is how the treads were made. And the steel belts that were put in it, this is how it was done. And this is the machine that did it. And this is the engineer that did the formulation for the rubber and the steel to put into this tire. And this is the guy that built the machine that's actually going to vulcanize that rubber onto that steel. Let's dig into that. Let's get into who they are and what they've done and how they've done this. That's what's going on here. That's what's going on in this community. That's what's going on in crypto. And it's not necessary for mass adoption. We have to change our narrative. We have to change how we talk to people. We have to stop. See, my street mentality, when I hear somebody start talking like above me, like trying to impress themselves, trying to make me look dumber than they are, I fucking turn you guys off. You know what I mean? I turn them off. I'm like, you don't fucking know anything about real life. You just want to show me your PH fucking D and try and make me feel bad for not knowing what you know. That's not how we're going to onboard people into crypto. That is not how we're going to promote PulseChain. It's got to change. The narrative has to change. The products that are coming out have to be easier. They have to be less intimidating for people to utilize and use. It has to be as easy as going into their bank ledger and making a transfer. My contractor that's working for me right now sends me an email with a button on it, with a button that says, pay this amount, authorize and pay this amount. I click the fucking button and it's done. Done. That's not how it works in crypto. So we rail against fiat, yet there's products out there that work for everyday people very well. And crypto doesn't have that yet. We just have appreciating assets that claim they're going to do something one day. We have to make this easier. We have to change our narrative. We have to start promoting, because now, see, the work is just starting when PulseChain comes out for us. We've all been sitting around, sitting on our hands, playing freaking footsie with each other, yelling and screaming at the top of our lungs about what this is all about, while the devs have been doing the work. We haven't done jack shit other than sit here and talk amongst each other and speculate. We haven't done fuck all. None of us have done anything. So now it's time for the community to get up off their asses and go out there and start promote. That's what we have to do. And we have to do it in a way that is going to be welcoming, warm, and inviting to people. Because if we continue with this stupid narrative of you've got to be some smart geek, because everybody knows those geeks that love to come in and freaking talk how good they talk about their knowledge and they're this and they're that, and confuse people to, oh, let me fix it for you. Let me explain it to you. Let me help you. Oh, I'm the crypto master. Freaking that stuff's got to stop. We've got to bring regular people into this. We've got to talk to people in their terms. People have to understand what this means to them, like what it's meant to this guy. This blue collar worker that worked his whole life away and found crypto, found Richard Hart, understand what it meant just because I read over the white paper and I saw what people were talking about and I understood the passionate ones and what they were trying to do. You know, in the beginning of Bitcoin, I saw the Roger Veers and all of these guys so passionate about what they were doing and how they were going to change the world of finance. And that's what hooked me in. It wasn't all the inside of the car engine that did it for me. It was all nice understanding and learning some of those things. But every time it went in, I had to let it go, because that's not how I'm going to talk to people. That's not how I've ever talked to people. It's not who I am. And it's not who most people are. There's only 3% of the world that have gotten into crypto because of its tech. What is it going to do for people? And how are we going to promote that message? What is that message going to be? And what's it going to look like? I'm going to go out on the road and I'm going to see and judge and feel people's response and talk to regular folks and find out, what are they looking for? What's scaring them? Why aren't they in crypto yet? Why are they getting involved now? And how are they going to get other people involved? And I want to see as many Hexkins as I can get involved in that process, because we've got enough geeks. We've got enough geeks. In fact, only geeks we needed are in Richard's freaking back pocket, the ones that he paid to build this shit. That's the only geeks we need anymore. Now we need people going out and promoting and talking to regular folks. That's what's needed. We need adoption. And that takes promoting. That's what we have to do. So that's my message to everybody is, if you have any marketing skills whatsoever, if you have any need, want, or desire to go out and promote and have passion for what it is we're doing, We need to get together and we need to start talking about this on the FN Hangout or wherever. Come see me on tour. Talk to me. Some of you are DMing me already and tell me, hey, how can I help? How can I help? This is what we're going to do. This is helping. Get the narrative going. Let's go out and let's talk to normal folks and let's start getting crypto adoption more than any of these. The Bitcoin maxis are not attractive. It is not attractive. If you look at Max Kaiser's cringy ass on stage, and this other freaking loser, Peter McCormick, and all of those folks out there on stage belittling others, talking shit, screaming at the top of their lungs about ridiculous crap, fuck you, Elon, fuck you, all that weird shit that they were doing. That's not attractive to folks. Nobody wants to be involved with that fucking geek squad. Normal people talking about what the solutions are for this is how we got to do it. So anyway, that's my little rant. Boom. The PulseChain pools and mainnet are estimated to launch publicly in less than 7 days. Woo! You've heard it from the man himself right there. Thank you for the tweet. Movie crew, less than 7 days. That means probably Wednesday or Thursday is what we're looking at. That's the story.
Wow.
That's
less than 7 days. That would probably be the 18th.
And what was that? What was the 18th for you?
Well, on 2018, May 18th, 2018, Richard thanked himself. First message in the chat, hex.pub. It said thanks. that was my first guess, and I was like, yo, that would be so ironic. Like if I were to have done anything like that, I'd be like, oh, I thank myself in advance and know 5 years later I do it. It's like all pre-planned master genius. Like at some point, it's like there has to be a different level to that. Yeah, look, Hex Pub, first thing, first message.
Is it? Where are we at right now? No, Tony, you in the room, Melv?
Oh, it's May 17th, not 18th. May 17th, 2018. So less than 7 days. Yeah, that would be perfectly on the 17th. Yeah.
No, Footsteps. Is that Footsteps? So is this just a scene for the documentary? No, it's not. They come over here and they film every once in a while when shit's going on. So I just happen to have a stream tonight. We do this all the time at 5 o'clock when we get our shit together. Me and Phamous, we usually we got so much going on. Sometimes we miss, but no, this is just a regular stream.
We're here, man.
They're trying to catch the news. They thought, maybe there might be a launch coming up today or something. So they wanted to be here for a couple of days. So they're out. And then, they're going to roll and then probably pump back in again. So we'll see how that goes.
I'm excited, man. Everyone in the chat's going crazy. The price is almost back at 8 cents. Let's go.
Almost back at 8 cents. Isn't that awesome?
Let's go.
Yep.
Wow, this is history, man. You guys waited longer, but I can't believe it. After everything we've done, all the time. And I saw someone say there's only so many viewers. Viewers are normal. But if you guys want, right now on Twitter, there's actually over 1,000 people in Maddie All In Space. There's the top people, top influencers answering questions, helping people out. The whole community's there. It's wonderful to see. So that's maybe why everyone's there. So go ahead and you can possibly get your question answered, which is much better than watching it on stream, in my opinion. So, and there's a lot of really intelligent people there that you can get different answers and different opinions and different strategies. So I suggest people to go do that on Maddie All In. I think he's hosting it. I know Funding Jim have hosted it before. So the community's been very active with Twitter. I think Twitter is the next way to go, the way everything's happening. But
yeah,
to your point, I agree with you. I saw Thoughts Child's comment that, there are going to be normal people that deserve to be in here. And, not everyone has the time, the effort. They have multiple jobs. They have no time for themselves, let alone do this, but they want to at least make money. And this is an opportunity for them. I understand. But I think first and foremost, if we all want to help people, right? Because I don't think you want to adopt people to rob from them or to use them as a liquidity, quote unquote, right? Most people is that, but they try to be honorable and righteous. But if you really want to help people, the number one rule in lifeguarding is you don't go and save someone if your life is at danger. And I feel, with my experience in teaching people throughout the years, is that you don't really send someone to the slaughter just because they deserve to be helped, right? Because they can be just like on a motorcycle. Sometimes it's not you the problem, it's other people. So you could be doing the right thing and making people, you know, teaching people and saying, hey, this is the easy way to do it. But I found that explaining people properly and taking that extra 5 to 10 minutes to complicate it so they can ask the questions because they really don't understand instead of nodding their head like they do. You know, I think it's worth the time to ask the question because it's worth the knowledge, because you are the reason for your success on the blockchain, no one else. You know, it's more to those who want to learn and want to do this properly and want to actually be responsible about it. And that's the way I feel like as an educative influencer, you need to have a certain way of responsibility. So I take responsibility in not dumbing it down, because I'm not the guy to dumb it down. There are people out there that do a wonderful job at it. I suck. But when it comes to getting the details, like, hey, like, what's your opinion? Like, can you give us, I'm there.
And it's not about dumbing it down. It's about relating to normal people.
100%.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, you know, we take here's something I learned in promotions and in marketing is you get all of this information, right? You bang it in your product. You know your product inside and out, who made it, how it was made, all that good stuff, right? And what happens is, hold on one second, is that you end up throwing up all of that stuff on people when you go out and try and make a sale.
Put it on the second.
And that's not how it should work. You should be out there using that knowledge you have and letting that affect you in the confidence that you have of what you're bringing to them, and versus giving them all the details. We called it throwing up on people. You would just throw up all of your knowledge onto them. And you got to understand that it took you years to understand what you understand. And then you sit down with somebody new and try and regurgitate that shit to them. You couldn't have learned it in one day, in 1 hour and 5 minutes sitting in an elevator pitch or whatever. You didn't. You couldn't, and you won't, and neither will they. It's going to bounce right off of their head. You have to find a passionate, concise message that's going to get to them. The things that are going to make people go, yeah, I understand. I get that. Yeah, that's what I want to get involved in. And this is how I want to do it. And you're telling me the right thing. I get you, because you're so confident in what you're saying, because you've done the research. See, that's what I need. I need somebody like Richard to say, this is what's going down. See, I trusted Richard, and I understood that motherfucker was smart, and he knew what was going on in crypto more so than I did. And every time I learned something from him, I'm like, oh yeah. And I took that and I put that knowledge in, and I let it just come out here in passion. I just let it come out here in marketing. I just let it come out here in confidence. And that's how we've got to speak to people. That's what we got to do with our knowledge versus trying to regurgitate it. Now, I'm not saying that there's not a place for that, because there are people that do want to understand this stuff, that do want to know it deeper, that do want to have a little edge on some of the rest of the market. Because once you do have that knowledge,
and now it's time to elevate.
That's when you have an edge, and having an edge is important individually, but not when it comes to mass adoption. Mass adoption, big numbers, growing our bags, growing our community, getting out there into the world, fighting the financial institutions that are out there. See, we're not going to do it unless we're in mass. We have to be in mass. There has to be a front. There has to be leadership. There has to be people involved in wanting to change the system that's out there. And if we don't do that, they will bowl us over. They will drown out our voices. They will let us geek into eternity and off into the sunset and into obscurity, is what our geekness that's what will happen with our geekness, because nobody's going to listen. Nobody's going to care, because they'll be fighting us and everybody out there won't understand us. And all we'll have is a circle jerk of geeks talking to each other about how important all of this tech shit is. Let that sink in, because we want mass adoption. We don't want to know the details of all this shit. We want mass adoption. That's the goal. That's the goal. Not geek learning the charts and all this bullshit in the background about programming and all this stuff. The goal is mass adoption, and we are the ones that have to do it. There's nobody else that's going to do it for us. Nobody else is going to go out and promote this shit for us. So we can sit here and fucking relish in how fucking smart we all are, or we can get up off our ass and figure out how we're going to go get this message out to the real people.
No, you're right, because right now, we're entering a different level of what we have to do, because if it's launching, it's like it's different. Everything changes. The whole game, the whole factors, the whole game field changes. Now at this point, it's like, now what are you going to do about it? Now you got to get. I understand what you're saying. It's like now it's like everyone's available, not just the people asking questions, right? Because the people they're not going to ask questions. They're just going to get in. They're going to, just like they do on everything else. I agree with you. Yeah. We might have to like not simplify it, but just like not tell like not have to tell them and be like, okay, yeah, just get in, buy it. It's going to go up, man. It's new. It's fresh. It's, I guess I can't do that, but I'm 100% sure people have to step up to the plate if that's their key. I'm going to be here to explain the details, but I just can't dumb it down. Yeah. I've tried. I had a year to try. I just can't.
But you don't have to dumb it down, bro. You don't have to dumb it down.
To not go into a detail where I lose people. I lose people because it's like you got to listen. If you don't listen, you don't pay attention. That's how I get paid. Is that people pay attention, then it works. If not, it's too bad for them. But I agree with you, man. There is going to be a place for that, and that's why it's wonderful. I think you're doing the Pulse Tour because people want to not talk to people like me, like you said, the geeks. So, man, 8.7 and the back at 9 fucking cents, man.
Oh, it ain't done yet.
It's chow, man. It's just a wow. All those people, 5.8 cents. I'm gonna wait for it to go down. Bye bye. Bye bye.
You may have just lost 6 cents forever.
Jesus.
That is wild. That is wild how fast it's moving right now. And it ain't over.
I think the little drawbacks down are like the people who have their like all their sales in place just in case.
Yep.
And they're just like, oh fuck. I shouldn't do it. Oh well, let's go, man. It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get much worse. You know what I mean? I'm excited actually, man, because this is my first launch with the community, right? So like I know Hex was launched when I came in the community, but this is the first launch with the community. I feel very happy to be part of something so well prepared, in my opinion. So, holy fuck, look at that. It's like I hit a wall.
Yeah.
Imagine Richard tweets, "Oh shit, wrong tweet."
Oh, sorry, guys. All right. So what what else is going on other than my little rant there?
Man, I would tell people to calm down. You know, what is done is done. If it is done, if it's not, then continue the plan. If it's done, if you really think that this could be it, you know, change the plan, focus on what the next step of the plan is, you know, make sure your security is well, make sure you know what the plan is. As soon as it forks, get your, security is number 1, 2, and 3 of what you need to do. You know, make sure you're part of, you see whatever the community's doing. Maybe Richard's going to do a stream. Stay vigilant. Wait for Richard to post the RPC. Once he posts the RPC, secure your funds, and then enjoy it, man. You know, don't do anything you're not comfortable doing. Remember, this is your money, not ours. So make sure you do what you got to do. Make sure you're confident in what you're doing. Make sure you're not, your palms are not sweating, and don't FOMO and don't sell too much. It's either one or the other, man. It's
Is that the 1 minute chart you guys are showing when it comes up?
I think it's the 1 second. Is that the 1 second? They have 1 second now. Yo, that's for people.
It does look cool. It does look cool.
1 second chart. It's like, but yeah. So that's my message, because right now I think I've said too much in the last year to like condense everything into like 10 minutes. But right now, just security, guys, practice. You got testnet. It's not launched yet. There's a couple of things that might be, it's not nerdy, but pulseramp.com says when the message is gone, then it is available. Wait for Richard. For the geeks, there are a couple addresses in the GitLab that allow you to show you the AMM bot. So maybe focus on those things to see if maybe it's like active on Ethereum or anything. I don't know. There's so many things we could do right now. Just don't go to bed.
Don't go to bed.
Short when Phamous goes to bed. So me, it's 2 a.m. So I could be going to bed in the next 5 hours. So the next 5 hours, it could come out. So I'm going to be shorting myself. So I hope it doesn't come out when I'm sleeping. Everything comes out when I'm sleeping. But yeah, man, besides that, I would show people how to, how to practice on the bridge. But my computer always glitches when I'm using the StreamYard. But it's, follow K4K as a tweet where you guys can go ahead and get like free test DAI and practice your bridging, man. If the bridging is probably going to be people's number one way of acquiring ASAP, be careful. I also think that if you miss the bridge because it's too expensive due to gas fees, don't worry. You're going to have other chances. I'm 100% confident it will be available on Ethereum. Just guys, focus. You know what I mean? I think at this point in time, there's no point in going like Michael Scott on The Office. Just remember what we taught you, and there's going to be a numerous amount of chats. There's going to be a numerous amount of hexagons that you trust that will be crunching numbers, doing stuff, and I'm 100% sure Richard's going to come out with a stream. So, yeah, guys, enjoy, man. Congratulations. I personally think everything we've waited for is already done. It's just in motion, and right now it's just a counter. So I just want to congratulate everyone, and yeah, man, it's been a pleasure to help everyone, and then on to the next chapter, right? Because I think at this point it's like now we know, like it's like I think this is the moment of happiness, right? Like they say that happiness is right before you realize you're happy, and it's like this is the best part of the launch. Before it launches, because when it launches, it's like, oh shit, what do we do now? Like you have stress, but right before it launches, you're like, yo, it's happening. It's like New Year's at like 5 seconds left. You're like, yes, and then when it happens, it's like, yeah. But yeah, guys, I'm excited. I'm very excited. Congratulations, guys, and shout out to you, RG, man, for doing everything you're doing and the crew and everything. Honestly.
Thanks, bro.
What happened?
There we are.
What happened? Is that me? I think that's me, but sorry about that. It's the
no, don't sweat it. Bullish and Black Hexagon have been working their ass off, and SJ to get this thing up off the ground and running and moving and going. It's going to be good, man. It's going to be good. The community's coming together. We've got some really cool, swag bags and stuff, and projects that are supporting the cause here. It's going to be great, man. We're going to have, by the end of this year, we're going to have a badass DeFi tour. That's just going to be, we're going to be tearing through cities, man, bringing people to the table and talking to them about what this stuff means to them for real, holding their own crypto. None of this Robinhood crap, none of this bullshit that's out there, none of this super difficult, tricky, how to get into crypto bullshit. We want one click. We want these platforms that are trying to build on PulseChain to come to fruition so that we can get people onboarded and get people offboarded so they know that they can bring their, one of the biggest questions people ask is, okay, well, you got your money in there and I get in there. How do I get it out? How do I get money out of it? How do I cash it out? We need that stuff to be answered in an easy way so that people will feel confident about what they're getting into, so that we can have people moving their 401ks, moving their savings accounts, moving the money they have in their pillows into crypto and reaping the benefits of that, and staking Hex and getting gains off of it, and all the while driving the freaking price of Hex through the moon, driving all everybody's bags, building this ecosystem and helping people. That's what it really is.
100%, man. We're going to have the best opportunity to do that very soon. That's my opinion. Imagine what we did now. Imagine what we're going to do later. Imagine. It's going to be incredible. I can't wait.
Okay.
What else is there? What I think there was, they were to, I know I heard I can only talk about the geek stuff, but besides that, I think it's like, I'm very excited because if this is going to do very well, we're going to get a lot of hype with the exchanges, and then we're going to get a lot of eyes on us because we're in L1. And like, look at that, like Sue, look at all these shit little fucking airdrop projects that like come out of nowhere. And it's like, oh, look at this massive community because they get like a community for the airdrop. And we have an airdrop. And imagine when it comes out, people are going to, from all communities are going to hear about this. You know what I mean? So, it's going to be incredible. I can't wait because when this launches, I think there's going to be a viral Twitter crypto trend. 100%. Yeah. It's going to be incredible.
No, it's going to be gut wrenching to the rest of crypto. What's about to happen when PulseChain launches? It's going to destroy them.
Who you dunking on first? Who you dunking on first?
We're dunking on the whole space, bro. The whole
100%. But yeah, anyone in mind? Like the first person you're gonna dunk on? Like you have a name in mind? Like the first person you tweet
bro,
and be like,
I can't do it online, man. I can't do it on. I've got to go to a Bitcoin event and fucking get in their faces. That's what I need. I need in front of their faces. I need to stand toe to toe with them and go at it. That's what I need. I cannot stand this 2D fucking keyboard warrior Twitter fucking battle bullshit. Put me in front of that son of a bitch and let's talk. Let's talk, Peter McCormick. Let's talk. Let's fucking have a little chat here, buddy.
With the camera crew and everything following you.
Yeah, let's see how you do in person. Let's see how confident you really feel when you're talking to somebody who's passionate and understands and knows what you don't know and is trying to tell it to you. How are you going to the hardest thing in the world to get rid of is a body. Hardest thing in the world to get rid of is a human body. Try and get rid of somebody when you're in a conversation with them toe to toe. It doesn't work that easy. You got to walk off and it looks like you lose when you do that. You have to stand there toe to toe with somebody and talk to them and see them and feel it. And the people around, the people that are watching, they know who's fucking got the confidence, who understands and knows what they're talking about versus the other person that doesn't. Debate, in-person human debate is the freaking best fix for all this. That's where the dunk needs to happen, not this other 2D bullshit. I need to be in front of my I need to be in front of my, adversary. Anyway, Juanito, get a hold of Black Hexagon, Kalen, and there's the donation address. You can copy and paste that as a donation address if you just want to donate. Not, saying that's the way everybody should be doing it. I'd love to see people participating. Go to the event that's in your town. Come up to me, meet me, greet me. Let's shake hands, high five, and then let's talk about your situation or what you can do and your skill sets and all that kind of stuff. And let's go talk to regular folks with regular language and make this thing simple for folks and make it not scary and make it accessible to them. Because everybody needs and deserves this. Everybody needs and deserves this. And that's how we have to look at it, is how do we get to the regular folks?
I think with the regular folks, man, it's going to be hype. It's going to be able to show them that you're in front of everyone's talking about it. I really think it's going to come. It's inevitable. I think we're just going to make, because think about every community that's out there is going to have something. It's not just specifically these specific people. It's going to be everybody. So it's like, even if it's not now, it could be in a month, it could be in 2 months, it could be in 3 months, 4 months, a year. That will create a crazy hype for those people. And imagine all of it at once. It's like there's so much possibilities that could come out of this. Just like if you want to speculate about like momentum of how much virality this could be. First of all, you have the Richard virality. Second of all, you have an L1 virality. You have already, the Hex. There's like what 5 to 6 communities that hate us already. So if we go viral, they're gonna know about it for sure. And then there's just the people that are in Hex. They do a very good job in telling people, I guess, the new people, the new type of, because I've seen lately that a lot of the newer type of content creators are really hitting people. As to the older people now, you see they're more washed up because the old Hexkins stopped watching the same regurgitated content because people made them realize that it's the same shit. You know what I mean? Yep. So now they're like liking the newer people that have more stuff to say, but same time too, I feel like everyone's just waiting at the screen, like when PulseChain.
Yeah,
so it's coming.
This is for Alan. Alan, this is my PulseChain launch bandana that was made by
Suzanne.
She did Suzanne's originals. She made. I have the only bandana that she ever created, I think. So,
damn.
Awesome. So that's my post launch bandana. I will be wearing that on launch. So yes, Alan, I have one.
Damn.
It's all blinged out.
That's fine. I have to give me a shirt too. Fuck. Should go get one.
Oh yeah, and I've got Suzanne originals. She sent me a whole box of Suzanne originals to give away at the tour. So I'll be giving away. I'll be giving one away at each tour, and they're freaking dynamite, man. They look so good.
Yeah, they're so fucking nice, man.
Yeah, they're cool. So anyway, what else? So Highest of Stakes, they just packed it up and left. They just came in here. We did some filming earlier, and then they wanted to film a little bit of the show. And but hey, they're still filming, guys. Movie's done and over with, but they're still filming. So whatever that means.
I don't know. Next TV series. I don't know.
So retirement in 2 weeks. Yeah. So they're still filming and today they tweeted out a message trying to test the waters because there are a lot of different things going on in the streaming world as far as contractual obligations and purchasing of movies and shows and whatnot. And a lot of the big stuff that's really hot right now is documentaries and docuseries. So there's a lot of negotiation going on. There's a lot of other platforms that are emerging versus other platforms are kind of like starting to fizzle down a little bit, like Netflix. Some of the other platforms are looking stronger. And now Elon's even talking about, Twitter jumping into the space. And then I imagine something like, what if Elon bought YouTube or something like that? What kind of a, media conglomerate would that make? That would be crazy. So people are more and more spending their time on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, watching content that way, Twitter. So why not take those platforms and put the movie into that somehow? So that was what the tweet was today, was to kind of gauge what people thought of that and how that project or what that would look like to the project, what people's opinion was. And instead of giving honest opinions, we got memes and stupid crap like that. So that's why it was just like, just forget it. I'll mitigate the issue now. Just turn the tweet off, and we'll try and figure out how to ask it in a better way that the fucking Hexicans will accept. I mean, we even had some influencer friends of mine, Hexicans, out there tweeting bullshit out about it. It was like, really, guys? That's how you support what we've done here? That's how you support what we're all trying to do as a community. One of the freaking best tools that we probably have had is somebody actually made a fucking documentary about our journey through all of this. And you guys want to fucking FUD it. You want to make fun of it. You don't want to participate and help and be part of it and use it to leverage. Really? You want to belittle it in front of everybody with your influence? What the fuck is that all about? See, I don't understand this shit. See, this is the stuff that gets people punched in the fucking nose. And it frustrates me because I got to deal with it in 2D and not in front of fucking people, which just drives me nuts, you know? Anyway, fuckwits. Yes.
ETH becoming useless. 160 Gwei.
Ugh. It's absolutely useless.
I told people do everything before the Shanghai update. It's like super expensive, you know. I don't even think it's gonna go lower anytime
and
soon.
The slippage with the low with all the low liquidity, the slippage is just freaking whack. Forget big purchases. Well, I mean, whales don't care, but
depends. I agree with you. Right now, it's dropping from 9 to we're back at 8 cents. Mouth Tony, let's go. People getting out. FOMO sales.
Yes.
FOMO.
Sell.
Man, I can't wait to crack open that 2010 bottle of Porto on launch. It's gonna be dope. I can't wait. Launch is gonna be I'm probably gonna finish the whole cafeteria of coffee, and it's gonna be like 24 hours of nonsense. Well, not nonsense. Sorry. Not nonsense. It's gonna be 24 hours of constant. My eyes are gonna hurt me. They're gonna be red. They're gonna be like pulsating of just like I can't watch screens no more.
Yeah, get double up, save a couple of days of your ADHD medication there, everybody, and do whatever you got to do, crush it up and snort it, mainline it, whatever you got to do, you're going to want to be up that day. That's for sure.
Yeah, man, it's so you know if mainnet is so there's a couple of things I want to talk about that 7 days. So it's either the block height taken or it's happening. It's two things. So I think that's what right now people should be thinking about taking a gamble on. Is it done? Or are you still able to get a copy? Because from what I think it's done. Now I could be wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong because then that means you can get more, but I don't think anyone's going to be buying with what is that, 160 Gwei? Yeah, I don't think people will be DCAing today. I wonder how someone views this. Like a normal guy that does a mistake and says, "Yeah, let me do it." Let's buy. You know, like that one guy is like, "Today's the day." I'm going home. He goes home and buys it. And he's like, "Where's my $90 in fucking ETH? Where's my $100? It took $100. This shit's a scam." Oh man. What is that? I was shitting my pants waiting to unlock my ETH fiat today. $150. ETH is unusable. Damn. Oh, Hex down. RG, do you still got any Quaaludes from the 70s?
Who said that? Was that freaking... Put him in timeout. Time out. I wasn't doing Quaaludes in the 70s. I was just a little kid learning about punk rock and cross tops. That's what we were doing. I wasn't into the heavy stuff yet. It was Black Beauties, cross tops, and Thunderbird. Thunderbird, maybe a little bit of Night Train, some Boone's Farm, and some cross tops. That was it. We weren't messing with the Quaaludes. That was for the older kids. I was still a young man in the 70s, so I'm not a boomer. I'm an Xer. Don't forget that. Hexers will kick your.
He was doing them in the 80s. He was doing them in the 80s.
Well, they didn't have Quaaludes in the 80s. It was those were kind of a thing of the past. You know, it was the 80s was all about cocaine and marijuana and drinking.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And speedballs, stuff like that was like the hard stuff. But you know, it was all about cocaine in the 80s. 80s was cocaine. That was where everybody was. And yeah, that's what people did back then in the 80s. Those folks who partaked in that stuff. But we definitely did party. A lot different than you guys did. That's for sure.
I think it's going to be less partying than when it launches.
Yeah.
There's going to be some Mexicans out there doing some cocaine, I guarantee you, my life.
Oh, yeah. Some of them are going to die that way, too. That's fine. That's fine. You know, we had an uncle.
Lock the door. Lock the door.
We had an uncle that was one of those free birds, right? He just showed up whenever. He just traveled the world. He was a Vietnam vet that, you know, he had real bad PTSD. But he just went around the world just partying and having a good time. He worked. He abated asbestos. So he had a job that nobody wanted, but he got paid like crazy to do it. And he traveled the world and pull asbestos out of places. Right? He didn't give a shit. And he partied his ass off. He literally died underneath a hooker with a plate full of cocaine on the side of the bed and a bottle of Jack Daniels. I was like,
fucking Jack
Daniels.
That's
the way to go out, baby. That is the way to go. Literally the hooker had to call a freaking ambulance to come get his dead ass. She was literally on top of it when it went down. When he died. It was like, yeah, Unc. He went out like a champ, you know. That was great. But that's how those people lived, you know. Not the way I want to go out.
You think
I want to go out with
I
want to go out with a whimper this time. You know, I want to go off into the sunset and get old, you know, and yeah. I want to enjoy my money and my time that I got left because we don't have a lot of it. You know, a lot of you young folks, you know, and you're not where I'm at now. And what I can remember from 28, 29 years old to now, that went like boom, you're going to be 55 years old going, what?
I believe that. I believe that. I listened when I was 22. I listened and yeah, it did come like that. Holy fuck. Holy fuck.
Every freaking minute. Enjoy every minute of this stuff. Every minute.
100%.
It's
no regrets.
Too
no
short.
Regrets.
Have no regrets.
It's no regrets. Yep.
Anyway, what else? We're about to wrap it up here.
I wonder who's going to be calling themselves just like we're Pulsicans now.
No, I'm a fucking Hexican, man. I'm always going to be a Hexican. I will never be a Pulsican or a Pulse whatever or
Pulsicano. Yeah, no, Pulsicano.
I'm a freaking Hexican, man, to the bone.
Let's go.
Born and bred, full-blooded Hexican.
I can't wait to see the switch-ups though, and be like, yeah, now I'm a Pulsican. I'm a Pulsican. Forget about Hex. I'm a Pulsican, and then they're gonna get left in the dirt.
And it's in the dirt. Hex is still the goat. Still the goat. Remember, folks, PulseChain makes Hex better. PulseChain makes Hex better. And Hex is the best and highest appreciated asset in all of crypto. And guess what Pulse is going to do? Make it better. So guess what's about to happen? You thought 10,000X was good? How about 20, 30, 100,000X? How about that? People think, oh, yeah, Hex didn't have nowhere to go. It's Pulse and PulseX. Oh, bullshit. Watch what Pulse does to Hex. Watch where Hex is going. You think this is the end? You think 10,000X was the end? Oh, you're sadly mistaken, folks. Sadly mistaken. And you may not think I know a whole bunch, but guess what? I know this. Hex is going to blow everybody's mind. Hex is going to blow every asset out of the water. Hex is going to beat Pulse. Hex is going to beat PulseX. Promise you that. Promise you that. It is not going to go away.
Say that again. Can we say it again just for the people? Can you just say it again full screen? And this is going to be the clip edit because that was perfect. And unfortunately, you saw my ugly ass face. So let's just put it.
Like I said, Hex is the GOAT. Pulse makes Hex better, not the other way around. You thought 10,000x gains was good? That ain't even close. If Bitcoin, that piece of garbage, old dilapidated 3 freaking time hacked piece of garbage with ridiculous influencers trying to peddle it, if that thing could do 6 million X, what makes you think a better product with yield that is already proven to do 10,000x isn't going to do 10,000 more, isn't going to do 50,000 more or 100,000 more, or even go to 6 million more? Because remember, 3% of the world is in crypto. Maybe. What happens when we have 25, 30, 40% adoption and people are in crypto? And what if they're all running to the highest appreciating asset, the best thing that they can own, which is Hex? What do you think is going to happen when that happens? This 3%, this little maybe 1% of the 3% is in Hex right now that took it to 10,000x? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you not seeing this? Are you not zooming out and looking at the big picture? I don't think a lot of you are. I think you're all even chasing Richard's shiny object, which is Pulse and PulseX. And they'll do good, and they're going to make, 150, 1,000x gains for the people that sacrificed and got in. Great, you're all going to do good on that. But you better be getting Hex. You better be getting Hex. You better be figuring out what your strategy, your staking strategy is going to be, because the others aren't going to do what Hex is going to do. 6 million X, nothing. Watch what Hex does. That's it.
Oh, damn, that's the wrong button. My bad, Bullish. I was trying. My bad. But yeah, honestly, just I don't even know what to say.
It's back down to 5.9. Is it? No, it's
yeah, it's back. It's back at 7.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. Man. Fired up, everybody. Can't wait for Pulse to launch. It's here. We are less than a week away. Could be hours, could be just days. I think we're probably next week, midweek, looking to see it launch. Excited, fired up, can't wait. And Friday Night Hangout is going to be cool. Get on Friday Night Hangout. I want to start talking about how we're going to, the message that we're going to put together to talk to regular folks about. All of this detail, tech, freaking stuff, programming shit. It's been good and it's been fun, but it hasn't been good fun. It's over. It is time for us to start onboarding people, because that's what PulseChain's here for, is to onboard. Now we have functional freaking L1. We have a functional blockchain that we can take people to Hex and show them how they can stake for a month and still make gains without having to freaking pay gas fees that are more than what their stake is. We won't have people staked for a year that are now bleeding out because they can't afford to get that stake out. What a joke. What a joke. Ethereum took a good product. Hex took one of the most brilliant inventions and fucked it up. Fucked it up. But it still did 10,000x gains and still only equaled the same dip that everybody else dipped into. We didn't go to zero. We dipped 80, 90% just like everybody else did. We're just following market conditions right now. This has nothing to do with Hex. This is market conditions. The only thing that makes Hex suck right now is Ethereum. That's the only thing that makes Hex suck. So if you're staked and your shit's bleeding out, I'm fucking sorry. I'm sorry that Ethereum is screwing you like that. That's Vitalik needs to be kicked in the balls for that one. That's his fault. He rested on his laurels. He let his miners push him around, and that's why we ended up in this situation. He could have fixed this shit a long time ago, and he didn't. So don't ever forget that about that scrawny little motherfucker. He fucked up. He shouldn't be left off the hook on this thing. He fucked it up.
The scrawny motherfucker.
He is.
I know.
Fucking hammer too.
It's not even insulting him. You're just telling facts. It's like a scrawny ass motherfucker. Anyway, I'm sorry.
I mean, I couldn't figure out how to explain in a passionate way how.
Yeah,
I
but an
felt
insult
about
when it's
him.
true is just much funnier. It's just that times more funnier.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, and I got nothing against the guy. I'm not, but he fucked up. And hopefully, you look at his statement when he said, "Oh, a 5-cent transaction in Bitcoin is that's horrible. That's a nightmare. How can anything like that happen?" And then here we are, $500 to unstake somebody's freaking stake. People have stakes coming out, can't even get them out because of fucking fees will bleed them to death. Just horrible planning on his part.
It's 100 times what he was complaining about.
It's 100 times what he was complaining about, and nothing. He didn't say anything. He didn't come out and say, "I'm sorry. We screwed this up. I screwed that up. I should have done this. I should have sharded. I should have whatever." He didn't do any of that shit. He just 2.0 fucking rested on their laurels and let everybody just get beat to shit. And for somebody in crypto who has the ability to fix that, and instead he allowed a few people to push him around and they made money because of it, that's deplorable. And he needs to be held accountable for that. Nobody, puts that fire underneath his ass. Nobody does that. I would. I ever saw him. I ever get in front of him.
That is what it is, man.
Yep, it is what it is. All of crypto's on board.
The Hex crew.
Oh yeah.
Dublin, California. See, yeah.
This is like
Chicago, Brooklyn, Nashville, Charlotte, Atlanta.
It's got a cool catchy tune here. It's a little porn starish, but it's still got a cool beat to it.
Phoenix.
All I need is a porn mustache. I feel like.
Be there, motherfucker.
I cannot wait to see you guys. I cannot wait to get out to your town and freaking shake your hand, high five, hugs for everybody, and let's go get this thing done. So PulseChain Tour coming to your town. Go get your tickets, guys. Go get your tickets. Support the cause. Get in early so we know what we're dealing with. You guys, early ticket sales helps us with figuring out how big the event needs to be, how much food we got to have, and all that kind of stuff with everything. So yeah, man. Get in there, go get your tickets for your local event, bring as many people as possible so that we can talk to them. And it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. Can't wait to come to your town. All right, everybody. We got to wrap it up here. It's been an hour. Phamous, you, my man. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much for having me again.
Launch is imminent. Incoming, everybody. Incoming. See ya.
Spark it up.